Hello gamers, it is me Wilson, and today I'm gonna tell you about they made some changes in the beta. Some like new things, and some things they just adjusted the previous changes. What am I saying? There's 2 rounds of changes is what I'm trying to say. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? If you haven't watched the previous beta video, then go watch it. It's about electrification and stuff. So the first thing we have to do is we have to unfortunately kill Celestial Champion. Goodbye. You've been fisted. You have to pick this up. Hello, Father Wagstaff. It is time to have this. Portals are out, open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We win the game. And now I use a handy command to force it to start healing. So, they changed how heal works. So they improved performance, which is whatever. But, if you watch the trees around me, watch the trees. Are you watching? Are you watching though? Are you watching though? I'm gonna put down a science machine. I'm just gonna make the base right here. Nothing bad will happen, right guys? Oh look, Cult of Lamb. I'm making one of those videos soon, or at some point. Assault blocks. You know what, why not get a dry... Wait, the avians are scruffling up there. Mr. Scruffles? The avians lost the battle. Oh my goodness, dead crows. What on earth? What's this to do? Dead crow is to do. Oh my goodness, a bright shade. No way. We discovered it. Goodness gracious, a bright beaked bird. And, oh, he's trying to fly. Oh, he flew away. Oh, well. So they've changed a few things with Lunar Hail. When Lunar Hail happens, lunar, moon shards build up on every structure in the world. Or, the loaded area. As you can just see, I got 2 infused moon shards and a normal moon shard from mining that tree. So trees seemingly, there's a variable amount of moon glass you get from whatever. It seems to be related to the size of the object, and you also have a chance to get infused moon shards versus just normal moon shards. I would speculate that it's like a 20-25% chance at infused moon shards, but I don't actually know. I didn't check the code. But anyway, this is really good. So instead of Lunar Hail hurting you, instead it just clutters your everything so that you can mine it to get moon glass. And you can use your structures even if they have moon glass on them, so it doesn't stop you from just using it like that. But it just means you can just so many moon shards, so many. This is only from a few trees and a few structures, but let me show you something pretty neat. Oh, you see that? Okay, this is new. It just despawned off the trees. You see that? The moon glass just despawned off of those trees. Interesting. So imagine you're standing in the middle of the forest and the Lunar Hail starts. Oh my goodness, look at all the moon glass that's spawning on all these trees. If only I could mine it really fast. Oh goodness, we've got W.A.R.B.O.T here to help us with that. Nice. And every time a hail happens, so you get one lot of stuff building up on structures, and you also have 1 lot of birds falling from the sky. Look at all those birds that just fell from the sky. Look at all this moon glass. Look at all the moon glass littered over these trees. There's so much of it. Which bird are you going to try capture? This one? Alright, I'm going to drop a bird trap right there. So now, as soon as this guy transforms, the dead red bird will turn into a bright beaked bird, and that bright beaked bird is mine now. What can you do with the bright beaked bird? I wanted to just finish showing you that, as long as you mine it fast enough, it seems, every loaded tree here will have moon glass on it. You can get so much moon glass by harvesting the trees like this. You don't even need W.A.R.B.O.T, but, it helps. There we go, now it's starting to despawn off the trees. So it doesn't last forever, but you get, plenty of time to mine it. So from that harvest from W.A.R.B.O.T and 1 Lunar Hail, I managed to get almost a stack of infused moon shards and then 3 stacks of moon shards. Or 3.5, maybe 4 stacks. So it's kind of crazy. Anyway, what can you do with the bright beaked bird? You can put the bright beaked bird into prison, and you can't feed it anything usual. So if you try to feed it meat, it doesn't like that. You can't feed it, you can feed it infused moon shards. And when you feed it infused moon shards, it will make pure brilliance. So I just fed it 12 infused moon shards and it still hasn't given me a pure brilliance. So I don't think it's a set amount of infused moon shards to make 1 pure brilliance. I think it's just every time you feed an infused moon shard, the bird just has a chance of making a pure brilliance. So I don't think you need to feed it a set amount, it's just a small chance. But anyway, I'm gonna guess it's 5% chance or 10% chance, I'm not sure. Otherwise, you can feed it moon shards. That doesn't do anything other than increase its hunger to stop it from dying. So there you go, you can make pure brilliance that way, but Wilson's Lunar Affinity allows him to make pure brilliance much more efficiently with infused moon shards. So I don't know if that's super good. Alright, the next big change is a lunar crafting related. So I'm just gonna spawn this boulder to get the Lunar Orb. So, this is a new world, and I haven't killed Celestial Champion. Actually, I have, but this is the old orb. So, this is not the upgraded orb that you get after killing Celestial Champion. So, this pre-Celestial Champion orb, now you can make bath bombs, glass cutters, and moon glass axes on it. So, you don't have to go to Lunar Island to make these before Celestial Champion. As long as you have the orb, you can make them. And speaking of which, the recipes to make the moon glass axe and the glass cutter have been reduced. With the glass cutter, the moon shards have been cut in half, and instead of one board, it's now one log. So this is super cheap, and if you don't know what this weapon is, it's effectively just a dark sword but with 75 uses, but it does buffed damage versus shadow creatures basically, and it lasts longer against anything that's shadow aligned. So it has 150 uses if you use it against something that's shadow aligned. That's always been a thing, but the new thing is it does increased damage versus like it says lower level nightmare things, but it's basically just all the shadow creatures. So Terror Beak, Crawling Horror, and the Shark from the ruins, you do increased damage versus all of them. So you do 85 damage rather than 68, which is quite the buff. And then, of course, if you had all of the, if you had affinity skills, it stacks on top of that as well. So if we grab the Lunar Affinity, so now I do 93.5 damage because my 10% damage buff stacks on top of the 85. So yeah. Now again, against like higher level shadow things like, you know, Nightmare Were-Pig, Fuel Weaver, you don't get the damage buff, but you do get the durability buff of it lasting for 150 uses rather than 75. So they've buffed the glass cutter in like 2 ways. They made it way cheaper, and they've made it more accessible because you just need the orb to craft it now. You don't need to go to Lunar Island. But not only that, they've also just like buffed it. It just does more damage against shadow creatures now. So the glass cutter was always good, but now it's accessible. It's actually like better because it's more accessible. So yeah, this is good. You probably don't need to buff its damage. Just making it more accessible would make it desirable enough. So if we mine this Celestial Champion corpse, when you kill Celestial Champion, you get the upgraded orb. And the upgraded orb gives you everything like usual, including the Bright Smithy. So yeah, the pre-upgraded orb, so before Celestial Champion, it still unlocks the glass cutter and moon glass axe. So overall, this is really good. I think making the glass cutter more accessible is good. And Klei are saying that they might consider making the glass cutter prototypable, meaning once you craft it at anywhere, you can then craft it through the weapons tab without being at a crafting station, which could be pretty neat. Again, makes it more accessible, and with it being so cheap, like, why wouldn't you use the glass cutter as long as you can make it? Because the only reason why I don't use glass cutter in my runs is because it's just not accessible. So otherwise I would use glass cutter over a dark sword because it's literally the same except better against nightmare creatures. Pretty good buff, I'd say. Very cool. So this is the post-Celestial Champion orb that has the Bright Smithy. So so they've moved the Bright Smithy's crafting recipe, so you can craft the Bright Smithy now at a lunar altar. So I guess that means you can make it before Celestial Champion, except you don't get Pure Brilliance before Celestial Champion. So like, I don't know how they plan on making it, but I guess you can see it before Celestial Champion now at the lunar altars, not the orbs. Next is the drying rack. As you could see, it has 3 spaces on it now. 1, 2, 3. This makes drying rack so much more like just not accessible, just so much nicer, because it's like a big structure that takes up a lot of space, and it's quite expensive to make. Wait. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure this is expensive to make. Yeah, 3 rope, 2 charcoal, 3 twigs. The 3 rope is what makes it expensive. Like 9 grass, that's quite a lot. But now that you get effectively 3 drying racks in one, that's not so expensive anymore. In fact, it's actually quite cheap. So having at least 1 drying rack in your base would be kind of legit now, because, you know, you have a 3-in-1 basically. So the only problem drying racks really had beforehand is that you had to have a dedicated space in your base to like put like 9 of them, or like at least like quite a few of them, because they only held 1 meat each, and they took 2 to 3 days or however long to dry the meat. So yeah, this is a really good buff, and I think it just totally makes sense. It's a big structure that now does 3 rather than 1. Very cool, very good buff, I'd say. So the last thing requires me to go kill Celestial Scion properly, because otherwise it won't work. So I'll be back when I did that. Well, see you, Wagstaff. Anyway, now give him a Celestial Jewels. So, with the Enlightened Crown on, like, so Wagstaff has been taken away, so that's the progression of the world. You got the crown on, and you've put 5 jewels in. These, in missile gestalts will spawn. Now, these had 2,000 health, but they reduced them to 850 health, and they no longer attack you, but they only spawn people with the upgraded crown on. Now, Klei have said they want to change how these things work or how they spawn, but for now, this is how it is. If you have the upgraded crown on, they spawn. They don't attack you, but if you attack them, they are planet enemies, of course. And then otherwise, they teleport, kite, attack, and such and such. A glass cutter is not piercing their planar entity defense. Goodness gracious. But again, they have 850 health now rather than 2,000 or whatever it was before. It was kind of ridiculous. And it still drops the 1 pure brilliance. So they're just kind of extra pure brilliance, but like, not that good. Also, I never saw the electric fence's name. It's called the Tingle node. That's really funny. Like, that's actually hilarious. Anyway, I'm showing this because they did a little fix. So before you could kind of break the Tingle fields by putting them on a boat. You would put them on a boat, and then when you activated them, they would make the fence, and then you could row, and the fence wouldn't update, so it would be in the middle of nowhere. So you could effectively create a barrier in the ocean, but you could move the nodes away so they were safe. But now they just don't activate. If these two, if they were on land, they would activate, and they would make the Tingle field. Tingle field. Let's ram into the ocean. I mean, into the shore. So if I put 2 down like this on the land, and I toggle them, they make it. Oh wait, what? Hold on. They haven't completely fixed the bug. Because I just activated. I did the thing. Oh, what? Okay, so you can still kind of do the bug. If you toggle it from off the boat, you can still do it. But as you can see, these Tingle nodes, I can they're like safe, right? Because they're away from the fence. So you imagine if you made a big box of this for a boss, you could then move the nodes away so they can't be destroyed, so the fence is impervious to being killed. And yeah, so there you go. So you can still kind of do the bug. That's funny. I didn't know that happened, but oh my god, it's Jakey breaking the game. Hell yeah. They did a change to the dragon fruits, the evil dragon fruits. Oops, I drowned him. Now they also get shocked from the Tingle field, but they don't get caught on fire and such and such. But it's funny. Evil salamander. Otherwise, there were some bug fixes which they didn't really didn't really do anything. But one thing I missed in the last video, and a lot of people asked about, is, Jakey, what about Volgo jelly? So, if you eat Volgo jelly, so in case you missed the last video, if you use an electric weapon, it does an electric state to the enemy that you hit. Here is a bunny man. I hit the bunny man, that's an electric state right there. You see that? He gets electrocuted. And when you hit a bunch of people, it chains and hits a bunch of them. Isn't that cool? This, of course, has like a cooldown. You can't just infinitely stun something. Except with the fence, you seemingly can. Like small mobs, you can infinitely stun using the Tingle field. So when you hit stuff with a normal weapon, you of course don't get the electric effect. It just does the normal damage. But if you eat Volgo jelly, then things changed. Look at that. I just stunned the Daywalker. The electric effect happened because I was using a Volgo jelly. So for like some bosses, it's actually like quite legit. Because like normally against Nightmare Werepig, you can do like maybe 2 hits while he's swiping. But with the electric effect, he gets like staggered for a little bit of time, so you get a few more hits in. So actually, for some bosses, kind of good. But I imagine for the most part, it will kind of just mess up your kiting pattern by doing that, because it like kind of shocks them out of whatever animation they were doing, as you can see. This guy has resistance to it, but he'll do a shock animation again, see? But like, it seems pretty good, honestly. Honestly, overall, the electrocution animation is like actually good, because you can get more hits in against bosses, usually. Now, I don't think you're really going to be going out of your way to use an electric weapon against bosses, though. I don't think it's that much of a big deal. But if you've got Volgo, look at that, even just cancelled his attack. Oh no, I have to use my electric driftwood ore. My glass cutter ran out. Don't worry, I do 28 damage per driftwood ore hit. Hell yeah. Yeah, get him, Salamander. Anyway, so there you go. That's about everything. And yeah, Volgo Jelly also does the electric effect. Even if you're using a weapon that isn't an electric electric weapon. Oh goodness, I keep getting annihilated. Anyway, that's it. Quick update. I am leaving now. Back to editing. Bye bye.